Today I will be talking about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So you're probably asking, what is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, otherwise known as EDS, is a connective tissue disorder characterized by overly flexible joints, easily bruised skin, and tissue fragility. EDS has been observed throughout history, has 13 different forms, and is incredibly difficult to diagnose. According to Lakiat Parakia and Carolyn Jackson in their 2008 article titled Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, A Historical Review, EDS has been observed for thousands of years, even before it was named. Even notable enough to be written about by Hippocrates in 400 BC. It wasn't named until the early 1900s after it had been studied by two dermatologists by the names of Edward Lawrence Ehlers and Henry Alexander Danlos. Ehlers and Danlos were the first doctors to diagnose their patients with what was at the time an unknown disease, which would later be named after them. According to the Ehlers-Danlos Society, there are currently 13 different types of EDS. Those types include, and excuse me if I butcher a few of the names, classical EDS, classical-like EDS, vascular EDS, cardiac valvular EDS, hypermobile EDS, arthrochalasia EDS, dermosparaxis EDS, kyphoscoliotic EDS, brittle cornea syndrome, spondylodiloblastic EDS, muscular contractural EDS, myelopathic EDS, and periodontal EDS. Diagnosis is an incredible challenge, which can be told by the extensive list that I just told you guys. What makes it even harder is that EDS is different for each individual. For example, some sufferers, their elbows bend backwards, like this. One major way that the disease is diagnosed is through genetic testing. From current understanding of EDS, it is caused by the body not producing enough of a certain type of collagen. Genetic testing can tell the doctor which gene is missing that codes for the protein. That doesn't even begin to include some of the types where genetic testing can't even be used because they don't know which gene is missing. Not even to mention that wait times for genetic testing is extremely long, and cost often gets in the way of having your genes tested. I personally have experience with this disease. My older sister, who is 18, has it. She's been struggling with it for about the last 6 or 7 years. When she was 11 or 12, she began to complain about joint pain, particularly in her knees, and my mom just brushed it off as growing pains, which it wasn't. About 2 years ago, she finally began to seek answers for what was going on. She has issues walking, so her joints dislocate multiple times a day. Her wrists bother her a lot, so she has to wear wrist braces. And particularly when she's walking, her hip will pop out of place and she'll stumble and almost fall. There have been times in grocery stores or at home where I'll hear her yell out, and I'll come running up the stairs and be like, "Are you okay?" On top of it, with EDS comes digestive issues, and she's been having issues with that. So it's scary because she's off at college and I can't help her. She's not the only person that I know in my life who has this disease. A friend of mine also has this disease, and she has a more severe version of it. There have been times where she's been wheelchair bound because she can't walk because her muscles are just so weak. She's always walking with crutches, never not crutches. And on top of everything, she can't eat at all. She's tube fed. And that's just because of the gastrointestinal issues that come with the disease. And the really sad part is EDS can go undiagnosed. I may even have a mild form. So may my younger sister. It's a very complex disease, and hopefully with research and awareness, a cure may be possible. There are small breakthroughs, and hopefully in 50 years, doctors will have a cure. Thank you.